I can only give you what I know. Shit that's real to me. Real get you. Fuck with it or you don't. Either way it's real though. XM. No collection plate. Been a long time coming, yeah. Spent a long time running, yeah. Calling, I can't run from it. Cause everything they say, I've been done it, yeah. So I preach real, cause these streets real. If I don't kill these niggas, then the streets will. They don't stay by your side, but the heat will. Probably never gonna know how peace feel. Been up, been down, been even. I ain't changed, I changed what I believe.
Woo! That's that fire, man. Shout out to my bro XL The Truth, man. Go check out XL The Truth. Go check him out on Instagram. Check him out on YouTube, man. Subscribe to both of us on YouTube and subscribe to both of us on Instagram. Mine's is King_Shu. He coming with that fire, as you can see. But what up 3 times, family, man? Hotep, man. This is King Shu. I ain't going, for my arm get tired. But family, real quick, man, I'm gonna stay on the topic. If you follow me on Instagram, you see I've been posting lately a lot of interracial people, and I'm not gonna quite explain why I'm doing this yet, because I'm trying to figure something out and I'm trying to paint a picture. But right now I want to just give another example of how, as black people, we need to start for one, focusing, have independent thought. Meaning what's good for them is not good for us. We have to think what's best for us. Also, we have to realize, interracial dating and swirling is not beneficial to us as a people. And when we talk about interracial dating or anything, it's usually involving black. We usually don't talk about when you think of a mixed person or a biracial person, you think of a black person mixed with an Asian, black person mixed with a white person, black person mixed with a Latino. You don't generally think of a white person mixed with an Asian, a white person mixed with an Arab, and like I said, with my technology and everything, once I step my game up, I'm going to be able to, because I like dealing with science, and I'm going to be able to pull it up for y'all and really go through step by step and show and prove. Versus, these feel-good stories, the superficial spookiness and the magic, because it's not tangible. A lot of y'all leaders that y'all follow out here, they deal with intangible things, because it's like chasing a it's like being on a treadmill and you got a stick and you got $1 million in front of you. You'll never get it because it's on a stick and you on a treadmill. It's like it's an illusion. You'll never catch it. So they'll always be on top because you'll never get to a certain goal. Now, we can be trying to get to a certain goal. So, saying all that, that's why I want to deal with science, and I want to share with y'all this experiment that I found. And this is also to show the social strategies that these people use against us. And we think, as far as like interracial dating, we think it's all love. Love is superficial. It's not really love. It's strategy behind that. These people know how genetics work. They know how the mind work. So it's this and when I give this experiment, you can check it out for yourself. It's on Chimeds, CHIMEDS, or Chi Medical, that YouTube channel, and it's you could look in the search engine by typing in rat shows empathy for stranger. It may not be verbatim, but if you type it in like that, it should pop up and you'll see the rat experiment. And this is a very interesting experiment because it shows, it shows and prove what I'm trying to tell you, how these people, they don't, the things that we focus on, other people focus on science and technology, and Unc been trying to explain this to us. Science and technology is what's going to push us into the future. If we don't deal with science and technology in the next 100 years, the black man and woman as we know it will be extinct. Now, when you're dealing with experiments, the reason we deal with experiments in science is because it gives you a controlled environment, meaning you can't pretty much affect the results. You come up with unbiased strategy to get results, and once you come up with these results, if you're able to repeat the results in many different, forms and fashions. And if you're able to repeat the results without you being there, this is how we diagnose facts from fiction. And that's what separates science. So once you experiment, if you come up with a theory, a hypothesis, you will come up with an experiment to test your theory and to prove your hypotheses. Now, if you can't prove it or you don't get the results that you expect, then you know to try something else or what have you. So it's something you could build off of. Now, to get to this experiment, they had these big white rats, and the color of these rats is important. And I think it's important to the scientists who was doing it too, because these people socially, they deal with these social, our relationships socially amongst them and us, and they do it subconsciously or they do it, secretively, or like subliminally, like I'm about to explain. So you got these two white rats. They in the box. The box is divided in two, and one side is just a dry platform where the rat could just chill. The other side it got water in it. Naturally, the water in the rat, the rat with the water, he don't want to be in the water, so he's distressed. This science experiment is to show that these animals are sentient beings, meaning they have feelings, they understand, they have relationships with their loved ones like we do as humans, and we shouldn't destroy them just because they animals, quote unquote animals. That's what they was trying to prove in this test. But what happened was the rat that was in distress, his brother on the other side, it's a door. So he was able to open the door. He opened the door for his brother. Now, when you're dealing with science, like I said, you got to try all different variables, because, it's up to you to disprove. Science is going to disprove, what you're trying to say. So you have to come with different scenarios. So what they did was, the next one was, they put a treat in there with the rat on the dry side. So he had a decision to make. Well, he still saved his comrade. So this is to show proof. It's not an impulse thing. It's more so of a empathetic thing. He feels the stress of his brother. So they also what they realized was, right, this is a rat that he was familiar with, the white rat. So he saved his brother. He said fuck the treat and saved his brother. They took it a step further, and they put a rat in there who been in the water already, who been through it. So he know what it feel like to be in that water and to be in that situation. Them rats saved the rat that was, the distressed rat faster, because they know they could relate. They know what it feel like to be in that situation. So they would save the rat in the water faster. Then they took it a step further. They made it where the two rats was of the same species, but they was strangers. They didn't know each other. The rat still would save the rat in distress. So now, they took it even a step further. They got a rat from a black rat now, from a whole different region. This a different species of rat, and the rat was in distress. Well, that white rat wasn't so quick to save that black rat. So that's a social experiment to show that we relate to our own, we show empathy to our own kind more. Now, of course, I believe I would love to do this experiment on my own to double check, because this is their science experiment. Science don't belong to them, but this is their particular science experiment. But I'm going to put my variables in there just to make sure and verify. If it's the same thing, then we have to accept it as fact. Because what I think they trying to switch the narrative and switch the perspective to justify how they treat us and other human beings across the world. They try to justify it as this is natural to all species of animals. No, that's not natural to show empathy. Now, you should be able to show empathy, because as I'm gonna tell you why it's bullshit. Because as Nubians, as melanated people, we show empathy to every fucking thing that fucking has a life in it. You feel me? And that's a fact. So that part of the science experiment, I would love to retest on my own. So like I said, they had the black rat in there. The white rat didn't save the black rat. He couldn't relate to it. He didn't recognize him as his own. Now, this is where it get crazy and get tricky, and this is why I tell you, we gotta be careful with the swirling, because the next experiment was they took the black rat that was just born and raised it amongst the white rats. So it grew up as a white rat. Now, when it was time for that black rat to save another black rat, it didn't recognize that other black rat as its own. It identified with the white rats. It didn't identify with that black rat, so it didn't, it wasn't so quick to save the black rat. So, for those of us who smart enough to see this experiment, this is why it's not important for us to maintain our culture as Nubian people, to maintain our identity, to maintain our who we are, like I said, identity. Like, so, when you get certain relationships, right? When you see interracial relationships, two things either happen. Either the if it's real, the two participants is not even gonna be dealing with either side. They dealing with their own thing. They not dealing with this side or that side. Or what generally happens is one of them is gonna assimilate. So if you got a white dude dealing with a black woman, she's it don't matter, white dude, black woman, black dude, white girl, whatever. But if you have an interracial relationship, depending on who's the power in that relationship, that's who the other person is going to identify with. So, for example, if you got a person, and the black person has the power, and when I say power, I'm not talking about physical or anything like that. But if the black person has the power, that's when you get these these white people who people say they act white. They say they act black. Vice versa. When you see most interracial relationships, when they dealing with a real white girl, like a basic white girl or basic white boy from the valley, or these preppy type white people, 9 times out of 10 the black person is going to assimilate to their culture, and that's why we get into the thing of it's a funny thing amongst our culture is we have certain people who deal with white folks, and we could tell because the way they talk, and we have an inside joke. We say you talking white. A lot of educated people get offended by this and say, no, I'm not talking white, I'm talking educated. No, actually, you talking white, specifically white American. Because when you deal with language evolves. When you deal with linguistics, language evolves. For example, we don't speak the same English as Shakespeare used to speak. We speak a total different English. We don't speak the same dialect of English as they speak in England right now, in the UK or what have you. So what happens is you have different dialects. So in the same region, for example, in Africa right now, you may have different, like 10 different ethnic groups, and they all speak the basic language, but each individual tribe and ethnic group have a certain dialect of that language. So for example, like Jamaicans speak a different dialect of English. I know a lot of my brothers and sisters like to believe you speaking a whole different language. No, you speaking a different dialect of English. Which is that's healthy. That show and prove that us as melanated people, we natural to this planet. We naturally evolve. It's in our nature to evolve. So don't find shame in that. Don't find shame in the way you talk. For example, even a little. If you think about our brothers and sisters in the South versus how we talk up north, we talk different. For example, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna give you an example. Like for example, just say a Crip or something, right? Now, in New York, I'm not saying this is what it is. I'm just trying to give it up north. They may say like yo, what's cracking, cuzzo? Something like that, right? Down south they say what's cracking, cuz? You feel me? So, in up north, we added an extra syllable, cuzzo, and down south they took off a syllable and the Z became an H, so it's cuh. But both of us are still saying cuz. So that's giving an example of how language evolves, depending on what culture you in and which region you in. This is how nature works. So a lot of y'all, if you're not studying science and nature, you out here bullshitting and you don't know what the fuck going on, because nature, our survival is based off nature. You feel me? You better adapt to what nature want, or we all the fuck out of here. The planet can live without us. We can't live without the planet. That's a fact. So I just wanted to get into that, because I know a lot of us, we warriors for this thing, for this RBG, this Nile Valley, this Hebrew, this Moorish, this melanated Nubian thing. We passionate about it, and we warriors. And I know we come across a lot of these devils in the comment section. And as soon as you cut them up with the truth and the facts, these niggas want to talk about our grammar. Bro, fuck you and your grammar, because I'm not an Englishman. I'm not from England. I'm an African who's speaking an English dialect, not by choice, and I don't even feel like explaining my whole history. Anyway, you should know this history. Just stop explaining yourself to these people because it's to take you off your square. It's to keep you distracted. So that's why, in that one video I said, my pro-black is not anti-white. We gonna discuss the problem. We gonna talk about it because they in the way. They are part of the problem. But they not our focus, and they not, they can't control our destiny. We control our destiny, and all we doing right now is just identifying our the psychological part of the warfare. You understand? And just to give a different perspective and identify different perspectives, and giving our perspective as Nubian people. Because we right to have our own story. You feel me? Y'all niggas keep saying, like, I'm gonna give another example. We go around, you say, damn, shorty bad. She not bad. She's the ultimate good. You feel me? She's so good. She's bad. You feel me? Or when you making love to your when you making love to your girl, you like, yo, I just put in pain. I'm trying to kill. You feel me? You're not trying to put in pain. You trying to give the ultimate pleasure. You understand what I'm saying? So don't let nobody take that power from you. That's the I don't even like to use them certain words, but I don't want our superstitious family to think I just dismissing what they believe in, things like that. Like, that's the magic in us. That's our gifts. You feel me? That's our that's our powers, like the X-Men. You understand? So that's all, family, yo. I just wanted to give a different perspective and like, yo, you be careful with all this. Oh, I'm gonna give a last example of why we need to be careful with the swirling thing, and how, and I'm gonna go into another video with this too. But be careful, man, because if you notice, like, a lot of the only people these girls go for is these top athletes and these rich people. I'm gonna give you a perfect example. I got homework for the family right now. And, I don't know, I haven't done it yet, but I did it one year, and this shit, man, I seen it, it blew my mind. If you look at the top recruits, and especially football, because I was following the football, the top high school recruits, right? And you look these guys up, because I follow these, I follow the guys, I like to follow the guys when they're young and killing, and when they get to college and make it to the NFL, I bet, like, I like to do that. That's, those two sports is my vice, boxing and football. But, if you look at these brothers, these top 5 recruits, these top 10 recruits, the best players in the world usually have a white girlfriend. Even when you look at, like, LeVar Ball, he has a white family, like, you feel me? And, his family is white. His girl is, his family is white. And the reason I say this is because his wife is white, his kids is half, but his kids got white girlfriends. So that's it.